Boogeyman band coming round the bend. Is Boogeyman band. Is Boogeyman band.
Greetings to Philip Right Fiends, and thanks so much for dropping by the Horror Zone channel. I hope everyone's doing well. Today's video is going to be part 2 of my Cujo 40th anniversary video series. So on August the 12th, we will be celebrating the 40th anniversary of the film, and I wanted to do, I had planned to originally do just one video encompassing the locations, just my thoughts on the film and how it impacted me as a kid, and also on this book that I purchased last year. Now, I had wanted to read this last year, but I never got around to doing it. It is a massive book on the making of the film, written and edited by Lee Gambin. It's called Nope, Nothing Wrong Here, The Making of Cujo. And Gomez wants to get in on the action. Did you like the book, Gomez? All right, so... So Gomez is going to be my co-host. A lot of books that are written about productions on, you know, classic horror films usually are a lot of fluff. This is not. This is very detailed, goes into every aspect of the film from the original conception to production. I just think Lee Gambin did a terrific job putting this book together. He compiled interviews with so many people from the cast, the crew. It was amazing just reading all these different stories going back to when the film was shot, hearing about the different viewpoints. Some of them became redundant a little bit throughout the book because a lot of people were saying the same things. There was a lot of people that were bent out of shape about Peter Medak being fired unceremoniously from the project. So there was a lot of people that were really on his side and were shocked that he was taken off the project, one of them being Daniel Hugh Kelly, who played Vic, Donna's husband in that. There also seemed to be, you know, some trepidation with him in terms of the way that the script was going, because things were changed when Louis Teague came on board. There was also some really good moments in the book that went into details about some of the stunt work that was done, like when one of Dee Wallace's stunt performers actually had her nose bitten off by one of the dogs. And how they got the dogs to act the way that they did. They actually, because they were St. Bernards, they weren't, you know, they weren't those kind of dogs that you could train to be, you know, sort of be aggressive. So they had to do things that they had to sort of, you know, they sort of had to be creative, like it was like using toys and things like that. And again, it came down to the way that Neil Travis edited everything together, because that's why they would use, like, you know, the actor Gary Morgan, who was in a full St. Bernard costume. They would use that. They would use like a mechanical head to ram the door of the car. So it was just like cutting a bunch of elements together to get that impact that you had from those scenes, specifically in the third act. But this book really goes into details about every element. It breaks down the entire film and talks about each scene in the film. But if people are really into the movie and into the book, I really recommend people buying this book. Like I said, it is a massive breakdown of every element that went into making the film. It's almost 500 pages in length. It has like behind the scene photos, some of which I've been using throughout this video. It has, you know, great interviews, very candid interviews. People do not pull punches. They talk very openly about things that they loved, things that they hated, things that they didn't understand, like the direction that the film was going, especially when it switched directors early on. But I think this is a major achievement in recapping a really classic horror film. I think Lee Gambin did a fantastic job on this, and I easily recommend this to any fan of Cujo. And yeah, it was a great read, very fast, very detailed. Can't recommend it enough. And yeah, I'm so glad that I own this book. And it just sort of puts the film, which I've always held in high regard, in a whole new light into everything that they did to make it as successful and wonderfully told as it was. Definitely recommend people picking it up. I got it off of Amazon. I will put a link down below if people are interested in picking the book up. I do recommend it. Like I said, it is a lengthy book, almost 500 pages, but it's broken down in describing, you know, the specific scenes, and then talks about everybody that was involved in said scenes. So there's some that go on way longer, especially in the third act, where you're talking about the scene at the Camber farm and just the attack from Cujo on Donna and Tad in the car. I think everybody would really enjoy this book if they want to know more about this amazing classic horror film that's celebrating its 40th year on August the 12th. So I want to thank everyone for taking the time to watch this, a little bit shorter from my last video. I do have one more video in this series, and that is going to be breaking down the film a little bit from my perspective and why it really got to me. Some personal stuff, very similar to what I did when I did my breakdown of Psycho 2 and my affection for Anthony Perkins, the late great Anthony Perkins, and why that film really made me a fan of him and the Psycho franchise. So I hope everyone looks forward to that. That will be posting this Saturday on the 40th anniversary of the film, that being August 12th. I appreciate everyone's time. Thank you so much for the continued support of what I do, and I promise I'll talk to you again real soon. Take it easy. Stay scared as always. Peace. Fellow Fright Fiends, just want to say thank you again for supporting Boogeyman Ben's Horror Zone. If you're brand new to the channel and you haven't yet subscribed, please hit the subscribe button down below, hit the bell notification so you're updated every time I drop a new video. I typically do this once or twice a week with new content. I've been doing this for over 11 years, and the horror genre is a passion of mine, and it really means a lot to me that I can share that passion with all of you guys. Thanks so much again for the support, and I'll talk to you again later. Take it easy, stay scared as always. Peace.